Trafficking is generally understood internationally as the movement or recruitment of people by deception or coercion for the purpose of exploitation. Human trafficking is a type of modern slavery. People are trafficked and exploited for many different reasons, but the most common ones are forced labour, forced marriage, sexual exploitation, organ harvesting, and domestic servitude. Human trafficking is a violation of human rights. People lose the right not to be submitted to slavery, the right to freedom, the right to be free from gendered violence, the right to health, the right to just and favourable working conditions, the right to adequate standards of living, the right to social security, the right to liberty, and the right to life. When asked where in the world human trafficking is a problem, these were people's answers. But actually, human trafficking occurs everywhere, and its presence on our doorstep in the UK may shock you. This is Sarah's story.
When my husband became very sick and couldn't work, I used an employment agency to find me work abroad. I was sent to Qatar, but the family were cheating me, paying me less than agreed in my contract, and refusing to give me a day off. I called the agency in the Philippines for help, but they never answered. I had to send money back home to pay for food, school fees, and medicine. I fought with my employer about my salary, but he would say, "Your contract is just a piece of paper." A year passed. Finally, they said they'd let me go home if I went to work for one of their sisters who lived in London. My employer flew with me, and when we reached Heathrow, the immigration officer just asked my employer what I'd be doing and let us through. The sister lived in a flat near Harrods. I had to work all the time, without a day off, and I slept on the floor by her bed. She'd shout at me, saying I was stupid or calling me a dog in Arabic. I was rarely allowed outside the house, and only with her. I was given just a piece of bread and a cup of tea for the whole day. I became emaciated. I felt like a slave, like I was in prison. I wanted to run away, but they had my passport.
It is estimated that in the UK there are 136,000 people living in modern day slavery. This is a tenfold increase from 2013. Trafficked people are trapped financially, emotionally and physically. They are disempowered and have little access to healthcare. This renders them susceptible to serious illness. 50% of trafficked people access healthcare during their ordeal, but only 13% of health professionals say they know to have had contact with a victim of human trafficking. This gap shows that currently victims are being missed. This all means that healthcare professionals are in a unique position to help victims of human trafficking by being alert to the signs and taking action. B. Bad documentation. Trafficked victims may have poor documentation or none at all. E. Erratic and inconsistent social history. Victims may not be registered with a GP, be vague about school or employment, or regularly change address. A young person may say they are older than they appear. A. Afraid of authority. They might be withdrawn and submissive or be afraid to speak to you. L. Long-term injuries, a result of limited access to care. E. Escort. They may be accompanied by an escort who is reluctant to leave the patient with you. This person may translate for the patient and have an unclear relationship with them. R. Reluctant. Reluctant to give details about the history of their presenting complaint. T. Trauma. There may be signs of physical, sexual and emotional trauma. For more information on human trafficking, speak to your senior employer about training opportunities so that you can get informed, inform others and take action to end human trafficking.